If you don't already know by now, ghost types are my favorite type of Pokemon, and seeing as it's October and Halloween is right around the corner, I figured it was a perfect time to share with you guys my top 10 ghost type Pokemon. This list will contain the ghost types that are my personal favorite, not necessarily ranking them based on their viability in competitive battles, although a lot of them on the list are fantastic in battle. For this list, I will not be including any of the Generation 7 ghost type Pokemon as I have not used them yet, and Alolan Marowak would probably take up all 10 spots on the list. So, yeah. This list is 100% my opinion, and you may disagree with some of my decisions, but be sure to let me know what your favorite Ghost-type Pokemon is in the comment section below. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to the dark side if you have not already. But without further ado, let's go Ghost! Kicking things off at number 10, we have the devil himself, Giratina. Typically, I vote against the Super Uber Legends being in my favorites, but Giratina is an exception. His design, his alternate form, his shiny, everything about him is cool. He even has his own epic theme song. For more reasons than not, he is definitely one of my favorite Ghost-type Pokemon. Coming in at number 9, we have the Master of Mischief, Rotom. This little guy may seem not too terrifying all by himself, but once he gains control of an everyday appliance, this little guy has the potential to put in some major work. Competitively speaking, not all of his forms are great, but there are some that I definitely enjoy using competitively. Just the fact alone that he has so many forms, and now is going to join us in our journey through the Alola region, being dormant inside our Pokedex, is reason enough for him to be on my top 10 list. Froslass was a very welcomed evolution to the Snorunt line, as I was not the biggest fan of Glalie, nor was I its Mega. Now personally, I'm a huge fan of anime, and having a Pokemon that actually represents a kimono really brings out the anime fan in me. Not only that, but it's a pretty decently powerful Pokemon when looking at it from a competitive standpoint. Its shiny form is not one of my favorite parts about it, considering nothing really changed, but everything else about this haunted robe is wonderful in my eyes, earning its spot on my list at number 8. The fate of the ships and the crew that wander into its habitat. All sunken, all lost, all vanished. This is the entry of Jellicent, and that alone makes me like this Pokemon. It is the spirit of the sea, gently drifting with the ocean current and reaping the souls of the unfortunate who come upon it. I love how it can be both gentle yet savage all at the same time, and competitively, the Pokemon is an absolute tank. So for many more reasons than none, Jellicent definitely deserves a spot on my top 10 Ghost-type list, and I feel number 7 is just the place to put it. Number 6 goes to the prankster of all pranksters, Sableye. There isn't really much for me not to like about this Pokemon. Gaining access to the prankster ability was definitely an improvement, as it made this Pokemon much better from a competitive standpoint. Another thing I like about this Pokemon, though it pertains nothing to the Pokemon game itself, is the fact that when it Mega Evolves, it hides behind what looks like a rupee from one of my all-time favorite game franchises, The Legend of Zelda. Also, his Mega Form gains access to Magic Bounce, which is one amazing ability. Coming in at number 5 is Spiritomb. Spiritomb. I will never forget my first encounter with this Pokemon. As I approached the champion Cynthia for the first time on my Pearl version, awaiting to see what kind of powerful team she throws at me, I see myself face to face with a ghost I have never seen before, immediately wanting one for myself. I remember barraging it with attack after attack to see what would be super effective against it, but nothing was working. I later found out that it shared the Ghost Dark type with Sableye and thus had no weaknesses at the time, making it effectively a better Sableye, until Sableye got Prankster, that is. Really, I just love its typing and design. It's only weak to Fairy type, and it looks ready to consume your soul in its swirling vortex of ghostliness. Not to mention, it's hands down one of my favorite shinies. The color scheme is phenomenal and actually shares the same color scheme as my channel. The light blue with the purple just does it for me, and I will definitely shiny hunt for this sometime in the future. Probably the best Pokemon competitively on the list, number 4 goes to Aegislash. Yet another Legend of Zelda reference is about to be made when I say that the first thing that comes to my mind, and others I'm assuming, is the Master Sword. Now I'm not saying it was modeled after it, but that is what first comes to mind when I see this mon. Not to mention its shiny form's blade is literally covered in blood. Talk about spooky. I don't necessarily like to use Aegislash often because I don't like to face or use Uber tier Mons, but this Pokemon is a force to reckon with in the competitive scene. One type combination I always wanted growing up was Fire Ghost, and that finally came to be in Generation 5 with the addition of Chandelure. Some people hate on its design for being a Chandelure, but personally I love how it looks with the purple flames and glowing yellow eyes. Plus its name kinda sounds like my real name, Chandler. Boasting a massive 145 special attack stat, Chandelure hits like a truck and has no remorse for the Pokemon it fates on the battlefield. And for these reasons and much more, Chandelure comes in on number 3 in my top 10 Ghost-type Pokemon. Shout out to your boy King Nappy. Number 2 is none other than Gengar, the OG Ghost Pokemon. Need I say more? Okay. It has a massively high speed stat along with a whopping special attack stat, and a very diverse moveset, being one of the few Ghost, and yes, there are a few others, even some on this list, that have access to Dazzling Gleam. I'm not saying that's a huge part about it, but it outspeeds most things and can hit anything hard, assuming it has the right moveset. Its Mega is also deadly, having access to the moves Perish Song, Disable, Protect, and Substitute, all with the ability Shadow Tag. Its Mega is nothing to scoff at. And I guess that is one of the reasons why its Mega is in the Uber tier. It's just too dang strong. Have I covered enough on this Mon? Alright, moving on. Coming in at number 1 is the Pokemon that harvests souls just like he harvests his berries. That's right, I'm talking about none other than Trevenant. Coming straight down to its design, this Pokemon is literally a haunted tree. How spooky is that? And it's shiny? Oh, don't even get me started on that. Its shiny form is probably the shiny that makes the most sense out of any other shiny in the game. Its non-shiny form seems to resemble a summer tree, where everything is still in bloom and alive, while its shiny form resembles the changing of season to fall, where the leaves begin to change colors and die off. If I were to sit here and tell you everything that I loved about this Pokemon, I have a feeling that we would be here for an insanely long time. So to finish it off, I will just say that this Pokemon, from a competitive battler's standpoint, is a massive addition to your team. This Pokemon will take lives, and like I said before, harvest souls. So that completes my top 10 favorite Ghost-type Pokemon. What'd you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below whether you liked my list or you didn't like my list. And also, if you guys would like to see another video including Generation 7 into my top 10 favorite Ghost-type Pokemon, after Sun and Moon are released of course, and I've had time to use these Pokemon, go ahead and leave a like rating on this video so I know you guys are supporting this series. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join the dark side, but until next time, I'ma get up out. Peace!